It's your good buddy Dave at Kart Speed again. And this week, guys, we're going to talk about a topic that's probably the most scary topic in dirt kart racing. It's a topic that most people like to shy away from. You know, it's a tough one. A lot of people don't like to talk about it. It's KPI, Kingpin Inclination. KPI, Kingpin Inclination. And I know that the general consensus is to mess with KPI, you either have to be someone like this, or you'll end up looking like someone like this.
Jesus. I can't fail.
And even though KPI can be complex, okay, this video we're gonna give you a brief summary and the gist of how it works, so you can apply it at the racetrack. Now, just like all our other subjects, the rabbit hole goes deep, but we're just gonna kind of give you a general summary of what's going on, so you can understand it enough to apply it at the racetrack and hopefully be able to make some adjustments to gain speed. Okay, so I got a board here, and I know, again, you guys are looking at my drawing going, hey David, your drawings are getting better. Well, thank you, I appreciate you noticing. But it's not drawn to scale, and again, I've exaggerated it to make it look, to make it easier to explain, okay? So what we have here in the picture is we have your right front tire, okay? Then we have the spindle axle coming to the spindle barrel, the L block, the caster block, and your kingpin, okay, and the kingpin inclination. The way it works is, the way it's measured is, especially with we'll use the right front as an example. The kingpin, like for instance, most go-karts run a 15-degree right front kingpin inclination. I would say 90% of the go-karts out there today do, okay? And that means that at 3 degrees camber, the kingpin is at an inclination of 15 degrees, okay? So what does KPI do, okay? Like I said just a minute ago, most go-karts that you purchase today, especially the popular ones, will come with a 15-degree right front KPI and then a 7.5 left front KPI, okay? Now, when you're using KPI, everything, just like a lot of our other subjects, focus around weight transfer, okay? And the general rule of thumb is that the more KPI that you run on your right front, which means the higher number, if you go from a 10-degree KPI to a 15-degree KPI, you're not going to transfer as much weight to the right front tire, okay? So, let's say if the front end is twitching and you got too much right front bite, you can go from a 12-degree KPI to a 15-degree KPI, and the right front's not going to bite as hard, okay? Vice versa, if you go to the left front, and let's say you're going into the turn and the go-kart's getting loose, and you're having trouble getting the right rear into the ground, into the dirt, and to bite hard, you can go from a 7.5 KPI up to let's say a 10 KPI left front, and all of a sudden the right rear is going to start biting harder, okay? And again, there's many adjustments that you can make to get your right front biting harder or your right rear biting harder, but this is kind of one of those things where it's kind of like an alien issue, like no matter what we do, we have this problem. Generally, you can change the KPI of the go-kart and solve your issues, okay? Now, when you're reading KPI on the most spindles, the KPI number is underneath the caster block, like so. And in other ones, like ones you get maybe like from PMI, they'll be written on the front of the caster block. And keep in mind, when you change KPI, you have to change the caster block and the spindle because they go together. okay?
Happy learned how to putt. Uh-oh.
Now that we've gone over what KPI is and a general view of how it works, hopefully now when somebody starts talking about KPI or you start thinking about adjusting your KPI, you feel more like this. Well, guys, I appreciate you joining me for another video. Until next time, remember, racing's hard. Don't leave no speed in the trailer.